For years, I was a master procrastinator when it came to work that wasn't assigned to me. Like, if it was homework or chores or some random person on the street needed help, like I would be there, I would do the thing. But if it was something that I had personally decided that I wanted to do or accomplish, I would always put that in the back burner. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Scala. Today, I wanted to share some really practical step-by-step tips for setting goals and sticking to them. I have a monthly reset where I plan out my goals, my hopes, my dreams for the month, and I always align that to my 3-year goals, 1-year goal, and then I have weekly goals. I'm really hoping that it just gives you a framework that you could use. You can take bits and pieces of this or the full thing. I kind of make this a retreat, honestly. So that way my mind is just really focused on the things that I want to accomplish, and I'm really like nailing in those aspects of life that I think are really important. So without further ado, let's begin my reset. My reset happens in 3 main steps. First is prayer and reflection. The second is business planning, and then the third is goal setting. So they all kind of bleed into each other, and we begin with prayer because faith is the most important thing to me. Like, to live in line with how Christ taught us to live is, I mean, that's the only way I want to live. So that is the way I'm going to begin my goal setting and this retreat that I've given myself. And recently I've been reading 33 Days to Greater Glory. Today is John chapter 2, verse 16 to 22, I believe. And it talks about when Jesus went to the temple and saw that they were trading and selling goods. So it's a really powerful reflection, I think, for me to begin my monthly goal setting with, because it's reminding me that I need to clean out the things that don't belong. The things that don't belong in the temple, the things that don't belong in the temple of my body, my spirit, my goals, my life. And it was a really beautiful parallel of also seeking out, what am I doing that's not in line with how Christ wants us to live? Like, this was a moment of rage for Jesus in a way that was good. There's just anger. So what are places in my life where I need to completely wipe clean because they don't belong there, in a sense of justice as well. So sorry, I didn't mean to explain so much of that reflection, but it went so well with beginning my reset that I wanted to express the word of God a little bit more to you guys. But if you have a different value system, or a way that you reflect, or a moral system, I would really encourage you to begin with that, because that just lines you up to everything else within your life leading towards that good. I can often get lost in my to-do lists. So beginning in prayer kind of just sets the tone that this is meant to be peaceful, relaxing, and also just good overall life reflection. Next, we're moving on to business planning. And this doesn't have to be like an actual business that you've created. It can be just job planning within your organization. It can be your school and academic life. I've done that before, of course. Or it can be, the things that you've been wanting to get done, like starting a YouTube channel or continuing your YouTube channel. I have a few entrepreneurial efforts that I'm working on right now. I'm working as a real estate agent. I'm doing YouTube and coaching. I'm volunteering with Habitat and just doing general affordable housing research here in the US and in Nigeria. And I have an Etsy shop. So these 4 things are usually what's battling for my attention. And I like to have an action plan set forth for each of those. An action plan is basically just my 3-year, 1-year, 2-month, and 1-week goals that I like to encourage myself to review almost monthly or almost weekly, so that way I can adjust the weekly goals and also make sure that they're always turning towards the 3-month or the 3-year, the 1-year, and the 2-month, and I can adjust as necessary. So I have an action plan for each. Today we're going to focus on YouTube, but I'll also, go back and do the others as they're necessary, whatever is like kind of the most tasking thing for the month or what I would want to focus on for that month. I also go in and I review my elevator pitch, which is just like a short pitch, less than a minute, of who I am and what I do. But I actually tend to write it towards what others can benefit from me. So in the endeavors of YouTube, coaching, real estate, it's more so, what are you going to get out of my services? The idea is more so to benefit other people. So my elevator pitch tries to reflect that. And I try to make sure that, am I doing that? Like, that's my monthly reset, encourages me to go back and make sure that I've done what I said I was going to do. So that elevator pitch is key to review and reflect. So I encourage you to start with that, actually. Start with your elevator pitch and then go in and write those action plan goals. They can actually work to lend each other, so you can adjust them obviously as needed. I probably adjust them a little bit every month. For my weekly YouTube goals, I actually have a spreadsheet that I like to include. So I have 2.5 days blocked off for YouTube, where I'll take a few hours in those days to do either editing, video ideation, or recording like I'm doing right now. And those are like the moments that I like to schedule into my calendar the second that I've written them in my weekly goal list or in my action plan. So that way they actually get accomplished. Because that's the one thing about being in this mode of, I'll just push my ideas to the back. We have not respected our time. We have not respected our initiative by scheduling it in my calendar as something that cannot be moved. Just like any other meeting, it actually does get done. So whatever your preferred calendar, whether it's writing it down, whether it's a Google Calendar, whether it's a spreadsheet, I highly recommend that you do that and stick to that method, and just value your time by following through. Another important thing for me to do is schedule out once a week where I'm kind of checking in on myself and my goals again. So it's not just like once a month I'm doing this big thing and then I'm leaving it at that and scheduling out the weekly to-dos. No, I'm gonna also schedule a 15-minute slot where I'm like, have I done my weekly to-dos? What's hard to do? Am I giving myself enough time? And the big overarching question of these 15-minute weekly reviews of my monthly goals is, am I working on the right thing right now? And this has been a powerful question because it's kind of easy to answer now that I have my action plan. Once I'm like looking at what I'm doing in my day-to-day and I haven't accomplished the weekly goals, I can go back to my plan and be like, what is truly necessary for me to accomplish those 3-year goals? Are these 3-year goals even important enough to me to like make them 1-week goals, to do the steps to cut them into pieces to get there? If they're not important to me, maybe that's what I need to revamp, is this 3-year plan. If the 1-week plans are just hard and I don't want to do them because I'm a little lazy, then I need to kick myself in the butt and be like, let's get up and let's do this. Am I working on the right things? Right now in this moment, I am working on the right thing. I decided to record this video. I told myself I had 15 minutes. It's been a bit more, but I'm really pushing towards accomplishing it. And I'm really grateful that I'm respecting my time enough to be working on the right things. And you will be grateful as well. And finally, goal setting. This is the most fun in my opinion because my goals reflect my journaling. They reflect my daily kind of brain dump goals list. I have a notebook that I use whenever I just need a brain dump, a goal, like goals and ideas and dreams. I just like place it in this book. But I also have a prayer journal, which is where I would write the reflections from my Bible studies. And these writings, like these kind of brain dumps, these reflection moments, are offering up way more goals that are just personal, maybe spiritual, maybe just emotional that I want to accomplish. Maybe there's social goals that I want to accomplish, and they're really important for my development as a human being. I typically write them on a whiteboard. So I'll walk you through what these goal sheets look like. Basically, I start with a whiteboard because it's easy to just wipe off. I'll take a picture of the old month and make sure that I've gotten everything done. And I'll schedule out these little treats that I've given myself for whenever I accomplish a full week or two. So I'll schedule out whether it's getting ice cream or having a movie night or getting a new plant, something like that, where I'm like, okay, I accomplished the full week. I didn't skip any days. Let's have that treat. The goal that I'll give you an example of is speaking Igbo. So I'll write that goal down, and I'll also have sticky notes that have the specific vision for myself having achieved that goal. So this vision for the month of June is to be able to talk to my parents in Igbo every day. So that's like saying good morning, it's saying good night, it's saying how are you doing, it's saying this is what I did in my day. And that was my goal. And I knew that in order to achieve that, I had to be listening to Igbo because I'm a little embarrassed by my accent. So I had to be listening and speaking it back to the TV screen or whatever I was listening it to. And I had to ask them questions, and I had to be consistent in words that I was saying every single day. So I always say good morning in Igbo, tutuoma, I say good night, bolachi. Then I'll like put my little calendar in there. I give these little icons for each item that I want to achieve. And then I put that on the calendar so it's easier to recognize. And I will put this right in front of my desk or on my desk so that way I can cross it off every single day and see the accomplishment of crossing that off. And that changes everything. I think when I had a spreadsheet of my goals and I didn't see them all the time, it was harder to accomplish. But now that I truly see this and I'm like, wow, I've done it every day except for 2 days. I'm really encouraged by it. And then I cap everything off by making a cute little Pinterest board that just has visuals of my goal. I'm a very visual person, and I put it as my phone's background. So again, I hope this video encourages you guys to just take bits and pieces or just give yourself a full day's retreat. This takes me about anywhere between 2 to 4 hours, and I like to go to either coffee shops, sit outside, or just rest in my room and complete all of these tasks. And it's been really encouraging for me to see myself be consistent as well. So like scheduling those things out and actually sitting down and doing them is in itself a goal that has been achieved. And I know that if you guys take even one bit of this, like just take the personal reflection in the beginning, or you can take the goal setting calendar at the end. You guys can use my little free printout in the description box below to just make everything even easier for you if you don't like to draw. But I am so glad again that I could chat with you guys about this, and I hope that this encourages you to just set goals generally and plan to achieve them. See yourself achieving the goals, and you truly will accomplish them more so than if you just, have the idea, write it down, and never look at it again. So we are ready to tackle the new month. Thank you again for watching this video. I hope you'll subscribe and stay a bit longer. I would love to have you. Again, my name is Scala, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!